Yeah, I just have it recording this screen. And that way, when you share your screen or anything, it'll show up here. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how you started with the trading bots and like what got you, like what made you want to make these strategies and how you got involved with it or anything?
Yeah, so I've been a trader off and on a good part of 10 years or so. I started in penny stocks before I came into crypto. And I came into crypto pretty much at the top in 2018 when everything was just going wild. And
So
in my first
nice.
6 days in crypto, I did 600% returns. And then the market started crashing. And I wasn't trading any altcoins, I was just holding Bitcoin. But um, I didn't know what Tether was. So I was wondering why like my portfolio is tanking even though I'm not in anything and didn't realize that Bitcoin itself was like a whole other tradable asset and you had to go into a stable coin. So that started my journey into crypto. And then over the years, I've taken my experience in penny stocks because crypto trades an awful lot, a lot like penny stocks, both from a chart perspective, but also knowing how to identify scams and scammy people and pump and dumps and all of that stuff. Um, so I started Elevate in 2018. So we've been a trade group or a Discord group for about 4 years now, and so we teach people how to read charts and how to work the psychological aspects of crypto and trading and all that wonderful good stuff. Um, and then I kind of just started like a copy trade thing in our Discord, and I started that in I think 2020. Um, yeah,
Copy trade is where you like
and
post your trades, right? And then people can like kind of follow along. Is that correct?
yeah, exactly,
All right.
exactly. Because it's one thing to kind of teach people how to read a chart and how to trade, but to really kind of help people grasp the full understanding of trading and how to spot things. I kind of just did this kind of copy trade thing so people can actually follow along beside me and take. I mean, of course, it was their option to take the same trades that I did or not, um, but to see so they can see why I take the trades that I do and why I enter where I do and exit where I do and all of that stuff. So and they can also
Mhm.
see firsthand that even an experienced trader does and will take losses and how to manage risk management and all that good stuff. So that first year that I did that in 2020, I took a $500 account um, to do this little program. And then over the course of 4.5 months, we did 10,000% returns. So we took
Wow.
that $500 and turned it into $53,000.
How in
Um,
5 months you said?
roughly, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And then last year, we did the same thing. We kind of started over, only we didn't start with that full portfolio. It's like, okay, so we went on a good run. Let's, practice some risk management here and not use our entire portfolio. So, because we want to have some money on the sidelines and keep our funds safe. So, in the event that, something bad happens and we get wrecked. So, we started the copy trade over with $5,000. And then in another 5 or 6 months, but of course last year was super great. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, everything was just pumping left and right, so it was a great year. Uh, so over the next 5 months or so, we did 5,000 into about 280,000. Um, so that's what I did, and I posted all of these trades publicly in my Discord, even my losses, because there were times where I woke up and I was losing $40,000 to $60,000 just while sleeping. um, and that's part of the game.
Mhm.
So getting into the trading bots kind of was a piggyback off of this copy trade program because one of the biggest issues that we ran into with the copy trade were people's time zones. So if I'm awake because I live in the United States, but say like somebody in Australia or Japan or something is still asleep, and I post that I'm buying this trade, and I post my entry or whatever. Well, they're asleep, so they're not going to get that same trade, so they may miss it.
Yeah.
And the same for people with careers, families, whatever, who just don't stare at charts all day like we do. So there was a lot of missed opportunities for some people to make money, or they got later entries, and which may have resulted in a loss if the trade didn't go in favor. So we had to find a way to automate this, and automate the way that I trade, and basically just turn it into a bot. So that's how we ended up with that where we are.
Okay, that's yeah, that's super interesting because I was wondering how that worked. And then earlier, before anyone was in here, we were talking about how you monitor the bots. Do you mind? Sorry, do you mind saying that again? Now that more people are here, like how you kind of monitor them to make sure that if you know something's coming, you can like mitigate any losses.
Yeah. So FOMC and CPI days, where the Federal Reserve has their announcements, um, and whatnot, which causes anything that can cause volatility within the market, because the bots trade off of an algorithm. So they're not going to know if there's any kind of like event come up or whatever, that might trigger the algorithm one way. Um, so we monitor them, and we are aware of these type of events that happen, and we've noticed that especially on our Ethereum bot Horus, that CPI data, all throughout much of the summer or the end of summer and into the fall, were the days that our bots took their biggest losses, because the market was flash crash and flash dump all within the same few hours, and it would trip up our algorithm and would cause it to kind of go haywire and take on some losses.
Mm.
So we kind of are aware of these type of events, so that's our job, to monitor different market volatilities and different events, so that if necessary, we can turn the bots off completely. Um, like for the elections, man, what a missed opportunity. So that's one case in which it kind of backfired on us. So we had
Mm.
the midterm elections at the beginning of the month, and we turned our bots off, like 2 days or a couple of days before that weekend before the elections, which just so happened to be like the day before the FTX started unfolding and crashing, which
Yeah.
crashed the market. So we were long at that time, and I closed our bots at the top and turned them off because we had elections and there was CPI that following week. It just happened to be 2 days later or so that the FTX crash happened and the market tanked. So our bots were off, so we stayed out of it. But if the bots had detected a massive sell off, especially in the volume, they could have flipped short and bagged some serious profit with that crash. So it was a missed opportunity in that case, but we didn't get wrecked. None of our subscribers lost any money. We stayed out of it, and we just waited for the market to settle before we turned the bots back on. And even without that week, we've actually still had a pretty good month. It's been pretty decent so far.
Yeah, it has been. And honestly, like I did check like when that happened. I was like, did the bots do anything? And I was like, oh no, they didn't. And I was like, okay, well at least I didn't lose anything. Cool. Like I'd rather
Oh
not
yeah,
lose than like sometimes I just
yeah,
like to play it a little safer because you never know what's gonna happen with those things.
yeah. It was bad that we missed that, but we were. I was actively watching the charts, and in that dump, the market would dump like 20 or 30%, and then there'd be some random 30% pump candle,
Mm.
and then it would dump right back down. So it was good that our bots were off, because if something had triggered the bot at any point in that volatility, we could have ended up on the wrong side of that volatility, and we could have gotten completely wrecked. So looking back at it as like, okay, missed opportunity, great, but we were safe. We didn't lose.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a little bit late, Philip. Everybody.
Oh,
Hey.
Satoshi.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having
And
us.
You're on the
you guys
Elevate
Cobra.
team as well, correct?
Say it one more time.
You're on the Elevate team as well?
Yes.
All right, I got you all set up.
I see Bacon is in here, but nobody cares about Bacon. He's kind of weird.
Hey, Warrior, you can hear me?
Yeah, yeah, they're good.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Did you guys want to do any little sort of demonstration or anything? Maybe you could share your screen and show what the bots look like, how they function a teeny bit, anything like that.
Yeah, we can. I'd like to. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to share our spreadsheet that we've created because one thing that we do within Elevate, whether if it's our personal trades or any of our calls and stuff, as well as the bots, is transparency. We are very, very big on transparency. We post all of our wins and losses. Um, and this is especially important, especially for people who are unfamiliar with bots and want to get into and are thinking about bots, so they know that we're just not shilling or trying to sell some scam or promise monster massive returns, and it comes to find out it's not the case at all.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this spreadsheet, and it's formulated to show all of our trades throughout the year of 2022. And we have some other tabs down here that go back for 2021 also. So for different market conditions, the bots are tweaked for those different market conditions. So last year was obviously a bull market, so the bots were had different settings to accommodate for a bull market and that allow for longer term swings. We're in a much tighter, choppier bear market this year, so the bot settings were tweaked to handle some of those tighter ranges and not hold for such longer periods of time or whatnot, and risk massive losses. So that's why each year is going to be different in terms of returns and profitability on the bot. So even this year, this is our Ethereum bot Horus. It still did 487% this year, and we put down all of our trades, wins and the losses, and then we have the date that the bot took the trade, the date that it closed the trade, how long the trade was open, what entry and exit, and all that wonderful stuff, and then the change in the price and the loss and the gains and whatnot. And then we made this fancy little section over here that just shows what the bots did per month. So like last month, we kind of got chopped up on that one CPI day that kind of whacked us through the algo out of whack there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna mute them. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
that's okay. Um, so we had a losing month last month, which kind of snapped like a 4 or 5 month win streak here. So it was a great summer, and then we kind of got into choppier ranges towards the beginning of fall, and took a losing month last month, which does happen. So, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
we're very transparent, because not every trade is going to be a win, not every month is going to be a win. Um,
And no one should
so
expect that for sure.
yeah,
So,
No one
so
should expect
we're very honest and very transparent in our trades, and this spreadsheet, I think I posted. Yeah, we pinned it in the Blockchain Babes Discord.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I just
Uh,
saw it. Like you guys posted it today, right?
um, or it may have been yesterday. I think you pinned it
Oh.
over.
That spreadsheet is more detailed than FTX's P&Ls.
Yeah. Um,
Love
but we
it.
also we also did this in a different way. So we can come up here and we can see the option one. So this is like 0 to 1x. So it's basically just running your bots at default settings with no leverage, just 1x, which is practically spot. So those are what your returns would be if you ran Horus, for example, with 1x leverage. So you'd have 480% returns for the year, and then 2x leverage, and of course you can see the numbers will obviously change. So if you ran your bot at 2x leverage, you would have done 1,000% returns, and then 3x down here, and so forth and so forth. And then another great feature with this spreadsheet is this starting amount, and we added in like how much of your initial reserve you want to use, and a stop loss. So let's just say if someone doesn't want to, if someone wants to start with a $5,000 account instead of 1,000, you'll see like all of these numbers change. Okay, so if they started the year with $5,000 at this is what their profit would be, $52,000. What leverage is that? So that's the 2x. Yeah. So 5,000 into $52,000 running 2x leverage on Horus. However, though, we did take this one nasty loss right here in May. So it was a 20% loss. So with that 2x leverage, it would have been 41%. So it will kind of just really whack to their portfolio. But you can see just like over time, it gradually just kept coming back and coming back and made up those losses. So that's why we're very transparent in our trades.
And then one thing that's very big, and we like try to tell people who use our bots and stuff, is that everything we did and all the calculations and all the backtesting we did was done without what do you call it, leverage. And so once they start using leverage and applying leverage, we can't promise them anything from the get go. But when they start applying leverage, that's when we really have to like warn them, like, hey, we did these without leverage, so everything that all the calculations will be completely different when you apply leverage. So take that risk in mind. So we always advise people to not use leverage, but we've had some people use leverage in some really good months, and they make a ton. But then we had some people, like you just said, during that one period, they saw these people making a whole bunch of money off our soul bot using 5x leverage. Some people try to get in doing the same thing, 5x leverage, and it happened to be a bad.
Ouch.
And then so they took a massive loss,
Yeah.
massive loss, and they were like, yo, your bots aren't working, blah, blah, blah. We're like, what happened? Like, yeah, we took a loss, but like, that doesn't equate to your entire, like, or 90% of your account dwindling down. Like, what happened? And that's when we started figuring out everybody's applying their leverages to extreme, as high as they possibly go, or some extreme level, which we can't promise you anything at that point. But that's why we applied the leverage tool to our little box thing right here. Spreadsheet. Sorry about that. So people could understand that things will change. So because some people just don't really realize how much leverage does affect things, especially losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I started my bots, I put them at 2x leverage. I was like, let's just see what happens. Like, I want to test this out. I want to like kind of like not go a little big, but not too big. Like, still stay a little lower. And some of the losses, I was like, oh, ouch. But I was like, you know what? It's because I have 2x. Like, it wouldn't be that bad. But then I also like how they're so customizable. Like, people can do this if they want to, and it is all on them. Like, you guys kind of give us all the data, and that's something I love also how you're saying, like, you're so transparent with it. Like, all the data's here. You guys say there will be losses. Like, obviously, like, nobody's going to have full wins every single time. They'd be so rich if they had that. Like, you wouldn't even need to do anything. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, I had some guy in the Astrobit Discord try to say that he was running some bot for stocks, and he was running it for 3 years with like a 99% win rate. I couldn't help but just laugh. Because I mean, it's a lie. There's no such thing. Like at most, some of the best traders in the world, at most, are probably 70% profitable. But if what makes a trader or even a bot in this case profitable is not necessarily the win rate, but if the wins are greater than the losses. And then, I asked him to show me some of his trades or whatever, and right off the bat, he had like 4 losses in a row. And I'm like, yeah, there's your 99% win rate right there, you LARP. But, anyways.
And in general, basically anything that has over like, 85-90% is
It's not real. not real.
Yeah, there's a high probability that
It's a
it's
scam.
total bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our bots are great, but even they don't even do that. So, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, like here, so this took one trade in January, and it won that trade, so it was 100%. And then May was only 25% profitable, but it only lost 9.5% on the month. And then here was a 54% winning month, but it was only 75% win rate. So averages it out, because we had those two bad months, it really kind of drug down our average, but still we're at 58% win rate, but we're 400 and almost 500% profitable.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and that just kind of goes back to the transparency. So people are aware when they see this spreadsheet or whatever that, they're going to take losses. They're not going to win every trade, losing months, blah, 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 all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
all that stuff is usually we keep it pretty up to date as much as possible, especially in the Discord, and then at the end of the year, especially like once we have like full blown yearly results and stuff like that, I'm gonna transfer, like the year's results and stuff and update all of the information that is also on our website as well.
Yeah. So so Astrobit did upgrade. So I got our demo account up here. I just
mm-hmm.
threw a couple $100 in here at the beginning when we launched these in May to kind of just set up our bots and let them run or whatever. So we're probably up a good, I don't know, 400% or so. Um, so Astrobit did add this wonderful little feature here because these signals did just say long and sell.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't tell you like the entry, the date, and the time or whatever. So it was a very nice uh, upgraded feature that the users can see, so they can see exactly what price that their bot entered or exited a trade. So this one says close. So this just means that the bot closed that trade. This green one is obviously buy. This red one is for short, and of course it tells you the how many contracts and whether what price and all that good stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
think so. It's a really neat feature. So if someone wanted to see like, okay, well, if I wanted to calculate what my profit was from here to this short signal, okay, so let's see, 16494. So I can just come in here and plop that down there. 16494. And this one closed at 16877. And then they can just do that tool there and kind of guesstimate. So that one trade
Mm-hmm.
right there was about 2.3% profit.
Wow,
So just a
that's a cool little
quick little.
tool.
It is. I thought so too.
That's really cool.
I really loved it from here too because this was the Solana bot the other day. So this is an hourly chart. So in 1, 2, 3 hours, it was long, and then it caught some sell off volume here and flipped it short. And just from that time that it took that short signal to where it closed down here at the bottom, this is a 3 hour trade. And it caught about 7.5% profit. Now I run mine at
That's really
3x
nice.
leverage, so that was a good 21% profit trade for me there. So that's
Woo,
a neat feature. So I
very
really like that
good.
Astrobit did that. Um, and
Yeah.
of course we're building more dashboard features for the users so they can see um, their own like P&L over time and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that they added those in, and I was like, oh, like I was trying to read them and like I was curious about them, but I didn't realize that they added those like that you could calculate it so easy right there. That's really nice.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's great because people always ask me, well, how much profit did it take? How much loss did it take? What was the whatever? It's like, well, now people can kind of do that themselves and kind of keep track of their own trades because we update our spreadsheet the first week of each new month. So
Mm-hmm.
um, this is updated through October, and we're about to close out November. So next week we'll update it with November's trades. But if somebody wanted to kind of keep track of how much they're making profit wise or whatever, they can kind of just do that little tool on their own.
And the bots, when they make a successful trade and like they get a little bit of profit, they automatically add it to their total pool that they're trading with, correct?
Yes. So let's say somebody is running just one of these. Well, let's just say someone's running one strategy,
Mhm.
and they have $1,000 in their portfolio, and they put it all on this bot. So let's put it all on the Bitcoin bot. So let's say that trade was 2.5% profit. So that 2.5% profit automatically gets compounded in for the next trade. So and that's a feature that you can set in the edit bot function here, so you can set your asset allocation. So since I have 4 bots running, I put allocation 20% each bot, and then I left 20% on the sidelines just for whatever there. And then my leverage. So I'm running mine at 3x, and then they can apply their own risk management and whatever. So that means with this asset allocation, um, if my total equity, say, was like $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever, and each time the bot is going to use 20% of my total equity. So if I
Mhm.
make 50% profit, let's say, and now
Mhm.
my account is $1,500. Well, my next trade, the bot will use 20% of that $1,500, and then
Mhm.
whatever the bot doesn't use, it's just on the sidelines. So, and as your account or your portfolio grows or whatever, it'll always use 20% of your equity. So it does compound your portfolio.
Great. And if somebody wants to take profits, what would that look like them doing? Like, how would they go and do that?
So,
Like from the chart, like
No,
if from the exchange or from the bot.
well,
from the
I know
page.
it's from the exchange, right? But
Yeah.
if they want to set, like, say I want to take profits, I don't know what to do with my bot. What do I do? How do I go about taking the profits?
Oh, okay. So Novus here, for example, is
Mhm.
2.5% profit, and let's say you might be kind of, I don't know, antsy or something, and you think this might, drop back here, and maybe the bot doesn't flip short, but you want to close that out. You can go right here to these 3 little buttons, and you
Mhm.
can go to close position right there, or you can close position up here at this big button. So if I wanted to close that out, okay, and market price, and I wanted to close the whole position out, and then poof, closed. So it'll show white if you manually closed your position, and it'll be gold if the bot did.
Mm,
So
okay.
And you can also set take profit orders as well in the other dashboard. If you click on the bots, the little 3 dots on the little, I think it's edit. If you go to Novus and you go to edit, right? Edit bot.
yeah,
And then you can
yes,
go down and you could actually set take profit for 1, 2, and it's based on percent levels, or it's not based on price. I don't think. I can't
Mhm.
remember. I think it's percent levels. But so that's another neat little things that say like you want to be a little bit more aggressive on taking profit because the bot's like it's in a little bit of a choppier area, so you're anticipating like the bot not being able to flip positions quick enough.
Mhm.
Then you could be able to set take profit orders for your bot, and it'll close the portion or all of your order out when those limit that limit was made. So
yeah.
I think that's another
So
pretty neat opportunity that people are able to use and have for adjusting their bots.
yeah. So for shits and giggles,
Mhm.
if I set 2 take profits, I'm gonna tell the bot to close 30% of my position when the bot is moves 2% in my favor. Now this is the price of the coin. I mean, yeah, the price movement of the coin, not counting your leverage.
Mhm.
Okay, and then let's say I wanted to take another 30% after 4% move, and then I hit edit bot, bot save successfully, and let's say I don't know. Let's just say short, just for giggles here for demo purposes. And then it automatically shows where your take profits are. So that means when the bot, if let's say if Bitcoin were to start dropping and it comes to this point, it's going to sell 30% of my position. And then if it comes to this point, it'll sell the other 30%. So the other 40% will just be, I guess, at the mercy of the bot itself whenever it decides to flip back long. Now, the other neat thing about this platform is see how my cursor is like a crosshair,
Mhm.
but if I hover over the TP1, it turns into like a hand with a finger.
Mhm.
You can actually grab this and you can move it and you can auto adjust where you want your take profits and your stop losses to be. So rather than trying to calculate that manually or whatever, like you can come here to this risk management tab, this little right here above the chart, and rather than inputting them manually, automatically updates in the exchange also. So you'll see these exact take profits and exact stop losses in.
Hello.
Hello?
Okay, I didn't know if it was just me.
Yeah.
I think
I have a question.
yes.
Can you set the bot to trigger with TradingView alerts by any chance to open or close longs?
Uh, you probably no, I don't think so. No, you can't
No.
because that's on our side. The bot's taking orders based on a strategy that is on one of our accounts that we have, and therefore the alerts that fire
Okay.
through that account, it's restricted to us.
So how's the bot knowing that like where's the top? For example, like where's the resistance? So it'll trigger the short.
That's just based on like our own calculations that we have, countless of hours of just going through the market and understanding what works and what doesn't work. Our bots will take orders based on that. Um, they are both very different in how they do it. They're both
Mhm.
very different. They use different calculations and different methods to get to a trading decision. So I can't really explain to you exactly how it does it because then it's telling you our
Right.
the bot
Giving
strategy
the
and stuff like
secret
that.
sauce.
Yeah,
The
but
secret sauce.
Okay.
but
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking if we could like trigger through like alerts on TradingView. That way we can kind of like set the type of charts that we want to play like in 5 minutes for scalping, like 15 minutes depending on that, and then it will just trigger. So this one opens and opens close and longs, correct?
yes, and so I think you got a little bit confused on the how adjustable and stuff the bots are. So the bots that you sign up and order, or get the pay for whatever you want to call it, subscription for, if you're restricted to the time frames that we created the bots in because we have found that you cannot make one specific strategy for every single time frame. It doesn't work that way. Back testing data shows that you can make one indicator that's very decent at or like one or strategy that's very decent at a handful of time frames, but it's
Okay.
better to find just one single time frame and perfect that time frame using your strategy. And so that's what we did with our strategies. We
Okay.
found the time frames that worked best for what we were trying to do with our understanding of the market, and we just crunched numbers until we got the best results we could possibly get. And we restricted users from being able to change that because once you change the time frame, it changes everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
What
so
about
That
trade?
that is that is actually probably going to change next month. So one of the uh, big features that we have been building with Astrobit is implementing AI and ML. So that's artificial intelligence and machine learning. So say our strategies are based around a 3 or 4 hour time frame, and they're profitable strategies. But a subscriber would want to try to utilize that strategy on a more scalp based level. So utilizing the AI and the ML, which we hope to be rolling out maybe the middle of next month. Um, so you'll be able to actually take any of the strategies on the entire Astrobit platform, but they'll first be rolled out to Elevate
Right.
exclusively because we work more exclusively with Astrobit. So you'll be able to take a 4-hour time frame strategy, for example, and be able to implement that on, let's say, an hourly time frame.
Okay.
And the AI will automatically tweak and adjust the bot settings to accommodate for that time frame.
Okay. Let me ask you one more question. What about
Sure.
trailing, like trailing up or down? Like if you're going short, um, do you have to manually move the take profit, or the bot can kind of like trail down?
So, uh, so if you went back to this edit bot screen, so when you preset your take profits, when you set those preset, those are going to apply to every single trade. So you once you set them, those will be your default settings for every trade, whether if your bot goes long or your bot goes short.
Okay, they're fixed.
You can. I'm sorry.
They're fixed.
Yes,
Okay.
but there is a trailing stop. I thought there was a trailing stop. Maybe it's up here in risk management. Yeah, so there is a trailing stop also for your stop losses.
Okay.
Don't think we can, yeah, we can't apply a trailing take profit, but you can apply a trailing stop loss. I wish you
Yeah,
can,
which is the same thing as a trailing take profit. It's follows the
yeah,
prices and moves up.
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
it follows the price down if you're shorting, like, and as soon as it hit, let's say 1% or 2% up, it'll take profit. Uh, that's what I was thinking.
yeah, yeah. So if I set 30% of my position at 2% in my favor, it doesn't matter if the bot is long or short, it'll take 30% profit at that 2% move. So if I'm short, after a 2% move, it'll close out 30% of my position. If the bot is long, after a 2% move, it'll close out 30% of my position.
Awesome.
And this automatically applies to every single trade. So you don't have to redo it every time the bot takes a trade. So we basically have designed these to where you can set them up and quite literally walk away for 6 months to a year and just let the bots do their thing. So if you can practice your risk management, what most people have found to be the most popular is just leaving the risk management blank and letting the bot do its thing, which kind of goes back to the spreadsheet. So here we have stop loss and we have no. So I mean, you can actually turn that on, and you can see how the numbers just changed. So with the
Oh, it's
five
not showing
percent,
your spreadsheet yet. Do you mind
uh oh,
sharing your
uh
screen
oh,
again? Because maybe it messed
yeah,
up.
I'm sorry. I forgot I got booted out for a minute there and dropped my screen.
Oh, good. Oh, good. All right, there it
Sorry.
is.
Okay, so the original spreadsheet or default whatever is set to no, and you can kind of pay attention here to these numbers and watch how they'll change. So you can click yes, and we just kind of put like a 5% stop loss in there. So if you click yes, you can see how it automatically changes the numbers. So you can see how the stop losses will affect your overall profitability. So that 480% profit with no leverage and no take profit dropped down to 53% profit by adding that 5% stop loss. So users have kind of found, and they've done their own algorithms and whatnot to figure out the best possible take profit and stop loss,
But
whatever, and just found that it was just easiest to run them at
well,
default.
it goes back to everything we done to lead up to creating the bots. We crunched every single number, crunched every single thing you could possibly think of into determining the best possible settings for these bots to be profitable with, and that's how they're created, and that's how they should technically be ran. In my opinion.
Yeah. I like how much thought you guys have put into it all. You could really tell that you know what you're talking about. A lot of
I think
care
we
went into
lost that
them.
guy
I
too.
think so too.
I just really think this is something that's very like everybody wants to make money, everybody wants to be able to trade, and like
Mhm.
be comfortable trading, but it's very hard to get to that point of comfortability in trading and finding a strategy that works for you. It takes a lot of time, and people are usually like very impatient when it comes to that, so they want to make money, and so this is like a way that allows people to do that. And I just think it's like I'm just very happy and like excited for the opportunity that's being like we were finally able to get in contact with Astrobit, a company that was finally able to do what we've been trying to do for so long and just make it really work. And so like, it's just very exciting that this is a thing now. Like
Yeah.
it's possibly changed and it will change the lives of many people as time progresses.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did just a little math scenario, so to speak. Um, so with realistic expectations, if the bots on average do 500% a year, after 5 years, you're essentially taking $1,000 account into $3.2 million, compounding your, and this is with no leverage, um, and that's
Yeah.
compounding your returns over 5 years.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah, and that's the problem that people run into is like they want to get that Lambo now. They want to get rich
Mhm.
now,
Ye-
and they're like, okay, well, how much is the bot? Am I gonna at least make my membership or my subscription each month or whatever? And they just have this mindset of moons and Lambos in their head, and they want it now. They
Yes.
don't think long term. And then that's
And that's
fine.
when they
That's
start
their
tweaking. That's
loss.
when they start tweaking things, adding leverage, going to their
Yeah,
account, adding secondary orders on inside their account, and it's just like you just gotta be patient and understand like we've did all the work. We did all the calculations we could possibly do. Just let it. Just trust the process, and it's gonna be a process, a
Mhm.
long process. But it will be beneficial if they're able to just withstand all those things. But again, this goes back to why they're coming to us in the first place. Because they're very impatient.
yeah.
Yes, that's very true.
Looks like looks like they didn't quite finish the trade history. So like how you can go into your exchange and you can
Mhm.
look at your trade history, um, still being still being built there. So not quite there yet. So more features, of course, are coming
On
and
their
being
way.
added to the platform. Now I hadn't. Also, some other exchanges they have wallets added now for MetaMask and Coinbase, because they have integrated staking bots. I hadn't had the chance to play with the staking bots yet, so I'm kind of unfamiliar still how those work. So that's another wonderful feature because DeFi is still a thing, and people are still going to want to stake and maybe even possibly run nodes or something through the Astrobit platform.
Yeah, I was curious about that as well. So, um, maybe one day we could have another AMA once you maybe Elevate will get involved in that and we'll see how it could go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we work very very closely with Astrobit. But to answer that guy, I don't know if he got dropped, or if he left. Um, about alerts and notifications. While TradeView does not um do those for the bots, BitGet and I think Bybit both.
Yeah, they
If
will.
you if you have the mobile app downloaded and
Well, by bit.
you have your bots connected, um, and you're logged into the app via mobile or whatever, and you're just
Oh.
going about your everyday life or whatever. Anytime that the bots take a trade, both BitGet and Bybit will send a notification to your phone when your bots do take a trade.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I could find him in the Discord and I'll put that in the Elevate bots trading area. I'll type that out.
Yeah, by bit. I love by bit.
Bybit and BitGet both notify you of trades.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have the mobile app of Bybit or BitGet, you could go into your settings in your account and set alerts for any trade that opens or closes, and it'll be a push notification to your phone. And you can also set it to get it sent to your email too as well. And then you can have it on your PC or tablet or whatever at that point.
Okay. Text or email notification. Alright, I'll let him know. Thank you. And then another question was hoping you guys could talk about is how people decide whether to use USDT to trade or Bitcoin or Ethereum to trade. Because especially with everything going on now, a lot of people aren't trusting USDT as much. So if they wanted to use the Bitcoin bot and trade with Bitcoin, um, are there any
I know
intricacies with that, or like, what do you guys say about that?
on I know on Bybit, and I'm pretty sure it's universal on other exchanges as well. You could trade using the collateral of like, say if you're just holding Ethereum because you don't really trust USDT. I know that you're still susceptible to the market at this point because
Mm-hmm.
you're in a coin. But I know the bigger fear is that USDT get have that rug pull. That's the big fear everybody has
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
So uh, yes, you can still trade and use the bots without having to use USDT as your collateral. You can use Bitcoin or uh, Ethereum as your collateral. I don't think you could use USDC or anything yet, but
You
that may be
can
something.
on BitGet. BitGet has USDC
Yeah.
Oh,
So
and
on
I
really?
Bitget
think
you're able to, but on Bybit you're not able to yet. I don't believe because they don't have any pairs on USDC yet.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
That's good.
I've been paying them like a mother effort because I'm an affiliate with them, so they usually listen to me.
Yeah, so BitGet does have USDC pairs, although there might be like a slippage issue with liquidity.
Mhm.
Um, Bybit has inverse perps, so you can trade, and I think Astrobit has integrated that or is in the process of integrating by
No,
inverse perps.
you could do inverse perps, but what they haven't integrated is the USDC perps. That's what I want to be able to do.
Okay, so yeah, you can trade against Bitcoin and Ethereum as opposed to Tether.
Oh, nice. And if someone wanted to switch over their bot to a different exchange, all they would have to do was close out their position, take the money from one exchange, put it in another exchange, and then connect like usual, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. So
very
um,
easy.
yeah, so this is BitGet. If I wanted to move my funds from BitGet, I would close all of these positions, come in here and just create or delete the bots from BitGet if you're not going to use that exchange, for example. Come in here and select my bot, select my currency and my exchange. I have KuCoin, so
Mhm.
already selected or already API linked, and then I just basically reset up the bot. Very, very easy to do. So all they have to do is just link the APIs again if they're moving to a different exchange, and then poof, they're off for the races again.
And some of the exchanges you can only use in certain countries, right?
Yes, and sadly, that is something that nobody is going to hide from in the coming months. Like you're going to have to use a VPN for nearly every exchange except for KuCoin, but KuCoin gave a lot of people headaches and wouldn't open their trades or close their trades. So even if the bot was flipped long for some people, for example, other people that were on KuCoin didn't get flipped long and they were still short and they were losing money. So even though KuCoin does not require VPN, um, we've had a lot of issues out of them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a mess. So
Better to get a
VPN to
VPN.
We used to
yeah.
have FTX, but then that happened.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah, we had to remove them, and I think we're actually working on now. Nothing's set in stone yet, but we are working on integrating DEX, so decentralized exchanges. We
Which would
just
be the
Mm.
best thing we could possibly
That
do.
that would be
yeah
amazing. Yeah. Can't
yeah
wait for that to happen.
yeah. But again, there's going to be liquidity issues there, so some of the strategies may have to be capped at like you can only have I don't know, say $5,000 max on your bot or something, because the
Mm.
decentralized exchanges don't have the liquidity that the
Yeah.
centralized ones do,
Oh,
and they also don't have futures and perps and stuff.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, right. As of right now, as
Yeah.
obviously Dexes are still relatively new to the entire world and scope of
Mhm.
things, but I definitely want that to happen. I definitely want to get it integrated because over time, Dexter will become more popular. This is
Yes.
just because what happened this year. I think more and more people are just gonna want to be off of centralized exchanges.
Yeah. It's coming though.
Yes,
We're
but
working
it's
on
gonna be it's just gonna take time. Get to that liquidity, that liquidity that's able to withstand all the normal types of trading that we're looking for.
So liquidity is the biggest hurdle right now for getting the decentralized exchanges.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm. I'm excited. Can't
I
wait for
am
that to
too.
be overcome. Maybe the next bull market when there's more liquidity in the whole thing.
Exactly. So literally, that's exactly what it will take for sure.
Mhm.
Just participate every single time. Something will emerge and it will grow. And I think Dexter are one of those things that emerged from this time around, along with NFTs and stuff, that will continue to grow its in popularity and just importance.
Definitely. I'm super excited. Well, thank you guys. I don't know if anybody has any questions or
You can ignore bacon.
okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, Bacon.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. He's like, you don't know me, don't ignore me. I'm just kidding.
He, he's in every Discord that I'm in, and like he stalks me. He
They're,
hunts me.
they're, they're basically dating. They're basically dating. So
It's a bromance.
Oh, romances are so cute. Alright, but yeah, if that's it, I have recorded everything, so I will put that up on the Blockchain Babes YouTube channel. If there's anything else you guys want to share before um, we end, it's been about an hour. Don't want to take up too much more of your time.
I mean, there's a lot
Oh.
more to the Astrobit platform
Mhm.
than just trading bots and being a marketplace for trading bots.
Mhm.
Um, we just can't really talk about them because they're in development and all that stuff, and we're under NDA and all that stuff. But just to let like your Discord and any of your followers that watch this AMA know that Astrobit is much more than just trading bots.
yeah, they're gonna do some crazy good stuff coming
So
up.
much
And
more.
yeah,
It'll be we're trying to build it for like a one-stop shop for everything crypto.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
that's all we can say for sure.
Yeah, that's all we can say.
Can't wait to see where that heads. Honestly, I'm excited. Thank you guys for the little tidbit of information, a little bit of
Thank
alpha
you for
there.
having us and giving us the opportunity to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no
thank you
doubt.
all for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
thank
your
you
All
time.
guys.
right.
Y'all have a good night, everybody.
Yes, have a good night. Thank you all. Bye bye. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Bye.